All right, let's say that you're trying to promote a book and you actually went with some promotion company or you did some promotions and you're trying to push your book, but it's just not working. People aren't interested. Nobody's buying your book. And the book company comes back to you and says, the promotion company, they come back and say, you know what? It's your fault. Your book just isn't good enough. What do you do with that? Is that actually the case? Well, if you think about it, it's a pretty convenient way for anybody in book marketing to sell you a lie or sell you a inferior service and just tell you that if it doesn't work, well, it's your fault. It's not their fault. The thing is, it might be the case that it is your fault, but it also could be the case that it's their fault. And today I want to talk to you about how you could actually tell the difference. Hello, my name is Bennett. I have a PhD in social psychology and an undergrad in marketing. For the past 15 years or so, I've been helping thousands of authors publish and market their books. And I could do the same for you through our company, BookMarketing.pro. All right, so first of all, if you're promoting a book, it should go without saying that you've done some initial work on the book and you've had some people check it out more than your friends and family. Maybe you got some good ratings on Amazon and you know that it's a decent book. It's selling a little bit, maybe a few people have purchased it and really enjoyed it. Then you know you have a good product. That's kind of key to make sure that there is some kind of feedback on your book that's not directly related to people that you love and that love you and that will tell you anything to make you happy. You need some type of feedback that is completely independent of your relationships with those people. So typically, Amazon is a really good, reliable source, or Goodreads, or some other kind of third party type of reviewing system where there's no incentive for them to give you a good review. They give you an honest review. If you like the book, if they like the book, then they're going to give you a good review. If they don't, they're going to give you a bad review. So if you have some decent reviews and you know, okay, I've got a good product here, then that's your starting point. That's where you want to start from. Because now you could at least go into this book marketing with confidence that your book is good, but is good enough? Well, not really. And unfortunately, that's not the case. There are tons of great books, millions, perhaps hundreds of millions of really good books out there. The problem is you just don't have the audiences for it, especially as people move away from reading classical books and go towards more TikTok and 10-second type of videos that gives you the adrenaline rush that they're looking for. So as that takes over, the market for readers starts to shrink and it means the competition grows. So you could have a really good book, but maybe it's just not very marketable. Maybe it's not what enough people are looking for to really sell your book. You may have like a very small niche audience that love your book. And that might be good enough for you. You're gonna say, okay, I realize that I'm not gonna sell tons of these books, but there's this very small audience that does appreciate my work, and that's good enough for me. Great. But what I'm talking about here is if you really want your book to kind of explode in the marketplace and become a bestseller. And I'm not talking about the Amazon bestseller where for 1 hour it hits the top 10 in some obscure category. I'm talking about an ongoing bestseller, something that's there at the top of the charts week after week after week, maybe year after year. So, where do we go from here? What do you do? Well, if your book, you find out that it's a good book, and you could tell by some feedback that you get. If your book is marketable, that's a little bit more difficult to tell because you really can't tell unless you really put effort into marketing it. And even then, you can't really draw the conclusion that it's an issue with marketability. It could be an issue with your book. Um, but typically, if the ratings are good enough, that kind of points toward the marketability of the book. So what do we do? How can you tell if somebody comes back to you, some marketing company or mark promotion company or whatever, and says your book just isn't quite good enough, or it's not marketable? How do you know that they're not full of crap? Well, here's the test. You do multiple different marketing campaigns with different companies. That's the way to really tell if it's true that your book is not marketable or if your book is not good. Because if you're just doing it with one company, then, are they lying or are they telling the truth? You don't know. If you do it with multiple companies and you're getting the same results, then at least you're starting to get closer to the truth. And what I mean by that is it could be the case that every company that you're going with is just offering you a poor promotion, bad promotion, in which case, you're not going to do too well. So, what I suggest is the following: start with some of the most reputable, inexpensive promotions to as kind of like a baseline to see how your book will do. One of my favorite promotions that I suggest to my clients is the Booksy, either the free Booksy promotion or the bargain Booksy promotion. And we offer that at BookMarketing.pro. We do all that work for you. We'll pick that promotion and we'll do all the work and get it done. I like this promotion because it has pretty much the best reputation. It's a really good starting point. You could probably get a really good promotion, depending on your genre, for under $100. And that's pretty darn good to really test the market and see what kind of return you're going to get. I wouldn't expect the kind of return where you put $100 into the promotion and you get $200 back. That's really rare that something like that would happen. Typically, with book promotion, it's more long tail, meaning that you're going to build up your organic market by doing these promotions. You're going to get some sales, and that sales is going to continue over a long span of time. People are going to recommend your book, they're going to promote it, they're going to give you better ratings, which in turn is going to help you sell more books. So you need to kind of bring your expectations to a realistic level. But let's say you do, and I'm just throwing that out there as one. They don't sponsor me. Bargain Booksy doesn't sponsor me, but I've been using them for many years for my clients, and that seems to be a really good, solid starting point. There are other ones out there too, and you could do the research. You could just Google it. Some of the most reliable promotions out there, and you could test that part of the market. What we've done at BookMarketing.pro is we've basically spent the last 10 years going through all these different promotions that come out, working with different people, individuals, and marketing companies that offer book promotions specifically, and we stick with the best of the best. So we go through a lot of them. We test them out with our own books that we publish in house, and we have a very careful process of determining how successful the promotion is, since we control everything. We control the publishing and we control what other advertising we do. So what we do, for example, is, and this is a great strategy that you could do as well, if you have the time, it's you put a book out there and you don't do anything for marketing except just one thing, one promotion. And then you could pretty much judge 100% whatever sales you get or activity you get from that promotion, it's due to that promotion as opposed to hundreds of other different factors that might be out there. So that's kind of the bottom line. Is the promotion, the failure of a promotion, due to your book? Is it your fault? The answer is not clear. The answer is maybe. And the best way to find out if it is or not is to start with some reliable promotions as a benchmark and see how that works. And if you get some success with that promotion, then you do other promotions. And then if you don't get any success whatsoever with those other promotions, you could pretty much write off the fact that it's those promotions that's the problem, not necessarily your book. So I hope this advice has helped you and you could put it to use. And once again, please check out bookmarketing.pro. I'm happy to help you there with any kind of promotion and publication needs. Take care.